Oh, we're Facebook Live. Oh, it's been a while, folks. It's been a while. Billy Colburn here live from the Courier-Record newsroom, as you can see behind me. It's Monday, March 9th. It's 2:17 p.m. I want to give you an update. Some of y'all made fun of me, some especially with TDS. Still love you. Still love you, Jimmy. The stakes and the spray painted lines that everybody said was miss utility outside the courthouse. Well, that's partially true. But I found out today from multiple sources, including the chairman of the Board of Supervisors, that the architect, Mosley Architects, has out of Mosley, Virginia, out of Chesterfield, Mosley Architects, has had to go up there and try to measure to see if a building can be fit where it might please Judge Joe Teefee and the other judges in Nottoway. And the Nottoway County is under a court order to provide the schematic drawings by March 31st. Well, that's interesting, March 31st, because at the last Board of Supervisors meeting, the county approved the spending. It was either $462,000 or $642,000. I think it was $642,000 payable April 1st for the architect to make a drawdown, but the supervisors haven't seen the building yet. They're still frantically trying to measure to see if a new building can be built. So that's news there. It's going to be new, apparently not going to be renovated. Now, I've been told, and Supervisor John Rourke has said this before, there's an effort underway again by Supervisor Rourke to put a monetary cap on the project. Another topic that's come up with this Nottoway Courthouse mysterious, everybody be patient, let everybody pacify the judge, and then you can report the facts. Well, they've approved $642,000 of our tax money. So I want to see a drawing, if it's even with popsicle sticks. I want to see the schematic drawing. So all these people saying, chill out. The taxpayers have already committed $642,000 for something they have not seen, for something they haven't been told, has not been described to them. Now, another issue that came up to me today, someone asked a question, Billy, why do courthouses cost so much? And I'm thinking, well, just, they always kind of look nice. And they're like, yeah, exactly. Courthouses look nice because it costs a lot of money because they kind of have to look like a courthouse. Who says it has to look like a courthouse? Who says it has to have columns in front and a grand entrance? Can't it just look like other normal office buildings? You've already got the historic courthouse. That's the county seat that sits up there and looks nice and historic. So does courthouse number 3 or 4, or this new court building, have to look like a quote unquote courthouse? We don't know. But again, I received intel, excuse me. I received intel a few days ago that they have gone and put stakes where the new court building is going to be built. So yesterday I had some time. I said, let me drive up to the courthouse. And I walked around and finally I saw stakes at the rear. I saw the utility markings that so many of you keenly observed were utility markings. But this was all done by the architect, or as one late supervisor used to call it, the architect, but it's the architect, because the county supervisors are under a March 31st court order to present schematic drawings to the judge. But meanwhile, April 1st, someone's getting paid. The architect's getting paid. So if those drawings aren't approved, I guess the architect still gets paid. And people should get paid, don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-professionals who do professional services. Obviously, there's skill involved, there's time, expertise. Yes, people have to get paid. But usually when you have you ever built a house and given a contractor, let's just say you're going to build a $500,000 home in Nottoway County. You're going to give the contractor $500,000 and say, hey, look, draw me up something. Let's see what it looks like. Kind of unusual, but government doesn't work like you and I work, do they? That's what's so unusual. And then, by the way, the growing chorus of say no to solar, much respect. I'm an environmentalist at heart. Much respect. Where do you propose, those of you who are saying no solar, but do what the judge says? Where are we to get the revenue to provide for the courthouse? The school division's asking for the bare minimum. And let me just get something straight about the school funding. I've learned a lot, probably learned more at the last budget presentation that Dr. Marsha Martin and Heather Meyer did than I've ever learned about a budget, including my time as mayor of Blackstone. Those are strong words, but I'm gonna stand by them. There's two things you gotta know about the school funding. It's complicated as hell. Here's the deal. There's a formula that determines a locality's ability to pay. It's called the Local Composite Index, or LCI. It takes in your property values, your taxable retail sales, and people's income in the county. And that number for Nottoway County is 4.8 something million dollars. And the school division is asking for the bare minimum. Nottoway Public Schools is asking for $4.8 million. Okay. Now there's another pot of money that the county doesn't have to get involved with. It's called local match. The county, for many, many years, school system, and the county has also funded it, has agreed to participate in programs like pre-K, programs for at-risk students, early reading intervention, algebra intervention, reduced K through 3 class sizes. And by putting up $2.5 million more in additional local money, the state kicks in an additional 6.5, allowing those programs to operate, and also saving what's basically, if you didn't do that, you lose 59 positions in the school system. You'd have teachers teaching. I'd like to be a kindergarten teacher. Would you rather teach a class of 23 kindergartners or 15? I'll take 15. That's what those funds do. So the local composite index, though, has gone up $1.1 million. Well, guess why? Property values have gone up. Guess why? Because the county reassessed 3 years ago. Now the county wants to reassess every 4 years. So that formula, which is done every 2 years, the data right now is based on 2023. And next year it'll be based on 2025. That's after our last reassessment. So, that's not going to go down. But as far as, Crew Primary, it's got a $4.5 million new HVAC system needed. The school was built in 1968. I don't know the structural integrity of the school with all the HVAC leaks they've had. They had videos shown at the last the joint meeting on March 2nd between the Board of Supervisors and school board that showed it literally. It looked like and it sounded like rain falling inside. I mean, it just sounded like a steady rainfall. And so when that happens, does mold get in behind the walls over time? I think they've had I think it was said in the last 12 months, 8 events or 10 leakages. Does mold get in the building? Does the structural integrity of the building begin to give way? I don't know. I've not heard anything about that specifically. But again, would you rather spend $4.5 million or several $1,000,000 where the inhabitants of the building have not committed any crime and they're our future leaders? I'm just asking now, not editorializing, I'm asking. Or would you rather spend $35 million, $20 to $30 million on a building where, first of all, and I say this again, all employees everywhere deserve a safe, secure working environment. That means judges, that means clerks, their staffs, the Commonwealth's attorney, their staffs, everyone, everywhere, private sector, public sector, deserves a safe, secure work environment. Okay. But at the courthouse, the number of taxpayers that utilize that are defendants in criminal matters. Those of us who get called from about probably once every 8 years, the average Nottoway County resident gets called for jury duty, more or less, I'd say, maybe once a decade, maybe more frequently. Some people get unlucky. But, and then you have people that go there for business, small claims court. So what is the best use of spending millions of dollars? I just simply ask you that. Some of you may say both. If that's your answer, hey, I respect it. The question then becomes, which do you want to pay more taxes for your vehicles and your home? There's talk of a retail sales tax increase in Nottoway County that both the Board of Supervisors and school board are supporting. The rationale behind the sales tax is sort of like the meals tax. Not just Nottoway County people would pay the extra penny on the dollar. People from Pickett, Fast C, people who come through here, pass through Crew, Burkeville, Blackstone, everybody would pay it. The counter argument to that is Virginia already has one of the highest sales tax in the state because state income tax isn't that bad in Virginia. State sales tax compared to other states is on the high side. So now it is penny spread out. Every time, it's not a hit in October like the personal property and real estate. But with that, Is more tax revenue always the answer? Can there be cuts? It was clear last night to the supervisors that the school board has looked at cuts. There was one position they didn't name, and I think I know what it is. There was one position after July 1st, once Dr. Martin took over, that was left vacant, and they chose not to fill it. Um, I'm guessing that could be assistant superintendent, although job titles have changed where the leadership positions have changed. So someone may be the de facto assistant superintendent, but I don't think anybody has that title. So I think by Dr. Martin being promoted, I think, her responsibilities have been spread out over current staff. That's my guess. They didn't say the name of the position, but that was that's a big position. So um, that's the latest. But just again, if you're just tuning in, there was a reason I went up to the courthouse, and y'all made fun. Go, oh, duh. Yeah, that's misutility. Well, the duh is that the architect is going to get paid April 1st for something that judges may or may not like. But your tax dollars have been set aside, taken out of the budget, a mid-year budget adjustment of $642,000. That's equivalent of 6 cents on your real estate, which is now 48 cents. That's 1/8 of your tax money has been set aside for the first draw. The first draw. How many draws will there be? And there's some folks that seem to know a lot about what's going on, and keep saying, "Wait, it's all going to come out." Well, I think the people of Nottoway County are ready for some answers. And people of Nottoway County, if they can be shown there's a need, people of Nottoway County will get behind good causes. I can tell you that right now. People of Nottoway County are not hard to rally for good causes. Look at what happens when people lose their homes or go through a tragedy. People in Nottoway County don't wait on the government. They have fundraisers. So it shouldn't be a hard sell. If it's truly, it's like my late father used to say, if it's really good policy, spread the word, spread the good news, let it take hold, and everybody will be happy. Or maybe it's not going to be good news. People are saying, Billy, it's not going to be $30 million. Well, okay. Well, how many millions is it going to be? Tell me. 27.5, 22.5. Debt forever. Debt forever. That's our new motto in America. Debt forever. Hey, be safe, be grateful, be happy, be the best you can be. Pray for our troops. Pray for everybody involved in the situation in the Middle East. I know the gas prices are soaring right now. Uh, I stand with the commander in chief and the troops, like I always do in times like these. Each of us has our own concerns about and worries, understandably, that comes with such action. I thought about FASC. The Iranians are hitting U.S. embassies in all these foreign countries where I guarantee you people who have come out here and trained at FASC are at some of those embassies. They've walked our streets here in Blackstone. They've been to our restaurants. Um, just when you thought maybe the State Department may not be as vital or going to be as necessary, you think about the people who staff our embassies. In every country we have good relations with, you have an embassy because if you're an American, you need help, you turn to the embassy. My wife reminded me of that last night during a pretty, not a debate, but a conversation during 60 Minutes. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning in. But that is the latest. Those are the facts as I know them. And if I knew more facts, I'd speculate less. Loved all.